I'm Scott Allen Miller. This is the 21st of May, 2021. It's Friday, and this is Las Peñitas, Nicaragua. I am standing in my front walkway, and today is my second full day actually able to be here in Las Peñitas, enjoying being where we actually live. And the weather is great. It's pretty hot, but feels good. We have a good breeze. So even though it is 97 today, I believe, it felt good. We didn't do a lot of like running or anything, but walks on the beach, getting out watching the sunset, sitting outside a lot of the day felt really good. I've got air conditioning in my room, my office slash bedroom, but that's set to 30 degrees Celsius, so it's decently warm. It's not like we're trying to make it super cold or anything. It's just keeping it dry and keeping the equipment that's in there at a decent temperature, because the computers will overheat, and there's the networking equipment and stuff is in there. But today I am fully at work trying to catch up. Yesterday, Thursday, I kind of took the day off. Not completely, I totally worked, but not doing a full day. I needed to decompress a bit. Today, gotta catch up. I have tons of emails, lots of projects, all kinds of things waiting for me. So I was on that all day. So I was pretty much got out. I didn't really have breakfast. I just had, well, I did. I had the Mexican breakfast, which was amazing, really, really good. Yvonne brings her grandmother's salsa for it, which is excellent. You can see our front walkway there. And that was my only real meal of the day. Everything else was just eating Dominica's leftovers, which I think is going to be what I'm doing most of the time. And so today, though, I was basically in my office all day. I would pop out and see the excitement of whatever was going on, but pretty much just hiding in the office. But got lots of work done, feel much better now that work is happening. And of course, all the custom stuff is done and the house stuff is effectively done. Paperwork is signed, so that's all feeling good. Having the air conditioning working, whew, that makes me feel so much better. We have air conditioning for 2 more rooms ordered and should be in a few days. Maybe Monday, so that's very exciting because the girls will have air conditioning. Liesel's fine without it. Luciana is melting. Like, she spends a lot of the day just drenched in sweat, and she just puts up with it. There's a fan on her and she's like, whatever. But Liesel's just like, oh, this is comfortable, and doesn't sweat at all, so it's a little bit unfair. But they need air conditioning. Liesel's only keeping it as warm as she is because there's a lot of insects here. There's actually not that many. It's like a couple really tiny moths, occasionally an ant. Like, it's nothing major. But the mosquito netting only does so much, and for her, she freaks out even if it's on the outside of the mosquito netting, so it is what it is. But it is a pretty good day. One of the cool things we did, I'm not gonna really show you, but right here in our entranceway, right here, Paul had bought a whole thing of the antique style dangling big light bulbs, and crew came over, Alex and I think Carlos came over and hung them all along the front. So last night, Dominica and I are like, it is so dark in this front way. Like, this is a problem. I've been saying that this front needs lights all along. I want down here in our garden kind of walkway, I want to put like vertical lights pointing up into the palm trees. We have coconut palms here, and I want to do like a walkway lighting and make this like really, really inviting. Right now our front is just this. I want to turn this into like a really nice lit sign, and then this sign we have gotten the lights already to light this up at night, but I haven't gone up yet. So this front is dark, but then under the palapa here, under the ranchero, it is completely dark at night, and we're like, this doesn't work. So that was last night, because Dominica and I sleep directly in the darkest part of it, is where my office is. So with so we put in the new lights right away, and we're gonna keep them on at night all the time now, and they look really cool. Now we still need the lights out here because you have to kind of go in a little bit to kind of catch how cool the new ones are, but they look so much better. And now the stairs are lit, and because this is kind of the central point of the hotel, but it's not where any of the activity is. So it's a weird combination of the center, but a dark, uninviting place. So we had to fix that. And I want to do a bit more in like plants and more lights and some decorations and artwork in that area. It really needs something to make it pop. But getting those first lights in, what a difference it already makes. So it looks great. I'm very excited about the progress we're making. And so that was the big project that was done today, along with interviews. We have a new maintenance guy starting tomorrow. So there'll be lots of new things coming because we have someone who can do them full time, as opposed to just Paul doing it or someone coming by or finding someone to help out or whatever. Now we have a person who does these things all the time starting tomorrow. So that's a big deal. You can see behind me one of the rickshaws, the auto rickshaws coming down the street. This is how you get around in Las Peñitas. If you're going out of town, you wouldn't do that. But if you're going anywhere in Las Peñitas or Poneloya, this is how you do it. It's cool living in a town that is the form of transportation. The big thing that happened today, other than just getting to live in my own hotel and enjoying the amazing weather and the great beach, we did have our first storm roll in this evening. I didn't get to see too much of it, but we did got a little bit of rain, got to experience that. But the really big thing was this afternoon, I was in my office, I was working, and we had a between 5.5 and 5.8 earthquake, 28 kilometers off in the water, right off the Leon-Chinandega border. So that was super, super close. I was sitting at my desk, my keyboard moved out from under my fingers. I watched the wall move, our dresser like creaked and groaned. I could see everything in the room moving. I could feel myself moving. I've never had an earthquake that made so much noise and moved so many things visibly. I've been in earthquakes where I knew it was an earthquake. I could sense it, I could hear it, but it wasn't like, whoa, that was an earthquake. It was like, oh, an earthquake. This was, oh my gosh, an earthquake, right? Like everything was moving, and several of the hotel guests are like, oh yeah, like I felt the wall go out from behind me, like everything leaned and swayed, especially in the back building. We were technically two buildings here. The front building is completely concrete. The back building is on concrete, but it's wood above, so its ability to sway is much higher. It's also taller, so it's got a lot more leverage to move it around. It can also do a lot more swaying without damage. But so that happened, and it was like, holy cow. I bet I was the first person to report it to the USGS. I had it in 30 seconds. But one of our hotel guests, she was not in the hotel, she was heading down the street down here to a pulperia. It actually knocked her off her feet, and she got all bruised up and stuff. Probably, she's fine. But it was a real earthquake, even not in a building. You're like, oh my gosh, it was an earthquake. Somehow Dominica and the kids didn't feel it. And I'm like, you need to pay attention to these things because this is how big waves happen. And I had just this morning taken Luciana out for a walk on the beach, and we were talking about what to do if the water pulls away suddenly, which of course is run for it. And we wouldn't be able to go too far, but this is actually the best place to go right here. This is a parking lot, but it's actually several meters above the hotel, and the hotel's above the beach, but yeah, we would want some extra distance there if there's any water coming. But we can't go too far because there's an estuary just behind there, so that would be a big problem if we ended up in the estuary. If we really had any warning, you get in a car and head down the street. That way is out of town, and that way it's not exactly into town. We're kind of the center point of town, actually, which is hard to believe, but the estuary in the corner are up there. That's north and that's south. So that was a big deal. We had this earthquake, and of course it registered on the USGS very quickly, and was the big earthquake event for the Western Hemisphere of the day. And immediately Melvin texted us from Managua, 3 hours away, and is like, did you guys feel it? We're like, oh yeah. But so they felt it in Managua, and we were, directly in the path between them and the earthquake. So 30 kilometers to us, and then 3 hours away, and they still felt it immediately. We actually had a mid-4 Richter scale earthquake then a few hours later, probably the aftershock, same basic area. So 2 feelable earthquakes in our first week, for me, my second day. And those are really big ones for the area, not super common. Other things today for lunch, hola. For lunch today, Dominica ordered the bean salad. We had seen some guests get it last night. We said, wow, that looks really fantastic. Not what I was thinking of as bean salad. Almost more like a Nicaragua style nacho dish. So it's got nacho chips, not nacho chips, obviously, baked tortilla chips, and then a bean based, like whole beans instead of like refried beans, with avocado, lots of avocado, aguacate, and I can't even tell you all the things, so many things, carrots, and loads of vegetables, some fruit, tomatoes, all kinds of stuff in this huge plate. So Dominica ate it, and then I ate it, and then Liesl ate it, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's easily one of the best things on the menu. I can't believe how good it is, and we never thought to really try it out. And apparently it's a fairly regional thing. It's very cool, so we're excited that that's on the menu. That's gonna be one of the things we get the most. We also have to convince them to make us quarter servings of it, because even 1/4 of it might be a little bit too much for us. The plate was enormous. There was so much left after 3 of us ate it as our meal. Crazy. I ended up working very late this evening till about 7 o'clock. So Dominica had gotten dinner. She got the veggie nachos, which we've been interested in for a while. Paul got the regular nachos, or the meat nachos, for lunch and said they were really good. But we got the veggie nachos for dinner. They were really good. Dominica really liked it. I had her leftovers again. And again, she ate it as her whole meal, then I ate it as my whole meal, and there was at least half of it left when we were done. I know that Nicaragua portions are enormous compared to American portions, but even this seems extreme. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I'm waiting. Melvin's gonna be here on Monday. I want him to test out some of these portion sizes because they seem insane to me. But it was quite good, but it was quite old by the time I had it. It had to be microwaved and stuff. So I only got so much of a feel for how it was. I then kind of went in and out doing a little bit of work and hanging out. But moved towards hanging out, and then we had quite a few guests tonight, Friday night, and I was able to set out and actually host until 2 o'clock in the morning. We had activity going on, people ordering beers, and even the kitchen was open quite late, and we're starting to get a group of regulars that come in, which is awesome that we're building this crowd now, especially with the higher quality food and stuff. So that is it for Friday here. I am going to call it a day, and this weekend I'm really looking forward to just having time to chill and relax in the hotel this weekend, and all the new projects that we're going to be doing to get things moving along. And here's Luciana. She just came down the stairs heading into the restaurant. It's so cool that this is the hub of our house now. And right here is my office and bedroom. This is where I am currently living, and the girls are living upstairs. I'll see everybody tomorrow.